Peace and blessings, family. This is your boy Juro. It is Monday, the 25th of September, 2017. How is everybody doing? I hope that your weekend finds you safe and well. For now, the new week is upon you. You've allowed yourself to rest and reflect and prepare. Because we're talking about you, family. That's right. And I understand that there's a lot of people right now that you've been scratching your head. You're looking out in your communities, in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you, and there's a lot of unsettling energy. There's a lot of low grade chaos being illustrated, downright bad behavior. And for those that have a relationship with the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, we know him as God. You know that right now, it's okay. You are being tested. That's right. You're being tested, and it's causing you to assess things. See what's really going on, family, as I try to put this out the beginning of the year to inform you everything that you would see is also connected to your spirit because you are a spiritual being first. Do not get misconstrued by the physical aspect of your being because this is nothing but a means to get around on this planet, this earthly realm. But right now, there's a lot of synchronicities going on. There's a lot of reverberations or regurgitation of bad choices. But the thing about it is, it was already written and is being manifested to get you to be in a position to choose. I mean, we are talking about your life. We are talking about your purpose. We're talking about your story. And there'll never be another story like yours because you are priceless. Don't you ever, ever forget that. And for that, there are going to be choices, work that must come to pass with or without your consent. So therefore, it must require you to be cognitive in your transition. You said, well, Gerald, I understand what you're saying, and I hear the metaphors that you use, but at the end of the day, I'm in a position of survival, and yeah, I know what you're saying, but truth be told, I'm having a hard time sleeping. Who am I talking to? My ends that I'm trying to find a connection or meet are thinning out. And at the end of the day, it is literally a day-to-day struggle. So how's that have an effect in my decision making? It has a whole lot to do with your decision making. Because see, you gotta come to a place within yourself. That's all right. I'm talking about being vulnerable with you. Because see, at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to do the work. They're not going to do the work. I understand they may have been your eighth spoon coon from third grade. But you're starting to see a commonality because where the lows are, so are they. And where the inspiration should be, you can't find them. You can't set your watch to them. You can't phone a friend. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? See, what is being shown to you may be drastically like a sledgehammer coming through a glass window, or subtle like the fog on a morning day. You're still being asked to take note in your reality. You do understand your reality is manifested. It is what is chosen by your state of mind or lack thereof. So right now, just like Prince said in 1999, people running around everywhere like they lost their mind. They're going to and fro, but yet they won't ground their feet. Why? Is it because they were never shown that as an option? Or is it maybe the fact that they refuse to go within themselves? Because see, at the end of the day, nobody can make you lay your head down. At the end of the day, no one can make you do anything you don't want to do. At the end of the day, no one can make you choose to love yourself more. So what is going on right now, family, is this. The Jezebel spirit is doing its best work. And its best work is to fragment and distract what matters most, and that is the core, your family structures. There's a lot of dissension going on nowadays, ain't it? It was all good yesterday, Gerald. I can't even get them on the phone. They don't have time for me, but yet we are connected by blood and bone. I don't understand what happened. You know what's going on? You are being set aside. Just as God is in the sifting room, he is showing you what was present but was not accounted for. And the two special gifts that was given the moment you took your first breath was the gift of unconditional love, to love yourself. The second gift was the right to choose, free will. Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I stand still, or should I go forward and walk by faith? So, you know, to have free will, to embrace choice, you must know you. You do understand that, right? That can't be obtained by who you lay your head with, who you work with, who you rub elbows with. Granted, we are in a microcosm in society where we wish to use the term each one, teach one. But if we were truly applying that application of each one, teach one, why aren't we loving ourselves? Because you don't need permission to do that. You do understand that, right? Just like you don't need permission to make the decision to change. But I understand we become so inundated and acclimated in our routines, we are afraid to walk by faith. Let me correct myself. Many choose to walk by faith and not by faith. Because think about it. If God ain't in it, how can it be truly for you? Maybe that's the reason why there's so much chastising going on. Maybe that's the reason why there's so many people that have chosen to take a position of being condescending. instead of being accountable. You do know your friends. That word friend is a sacred word. But if your friends do not inspire the best you, they're not your friends to begin with. If you are constantly revolving around the same environment and that environment does not bring the best you out, that's not the environment you were supposed to be with at the beginning. But until you're willing to have the courage to acknowledge what is being shown, come on now. You don't get a badge of heroics in failure. You don't. You don't get an honorary pat on the back for who has the most fortitude. Nah, that's what martyrs do. That's what scapegoats choose to embrace here. I know you might not want to believe this, but you got a whole lot of life to live. You do. But the contradiction in that whole thing is this. Shouldn't your friends be an illustration of exactly of who you are or your state of mind? So if life is nothing but a party to you, you can expect for the hangover to begin, to be long-standing, to not subside. Why? Because the person that's going to benefit from the party is the party owner, not the party going, not the party goers. Yeah, I know there's nothing wrong with having a sweet distraction because that's all it is. But reality is you still got work you got to do. You still got things to learn. You still have obligations that must be fulfilled. If not for yourself, what about those who will come behind you? So I understand very clearly that we are in the season of the ant and the grasshopper because right now there's a lot of playing going on. There's a lot of choices that have long-standing effects yet to be discovered because it's going to take some work to undo things that have been done. Who am I talking to? But the work can't be done until you acknowledge the work exists. Maybe that work was requiring you to finally get tired. Maybe this is the moment that you'll finally find courage within yourself to love yourself more, to take accountability of what must be let go. Who am I talking to? You've seen the same story play out over and over and over and over, and people have come and people have gone, and guess what? You're still there. Do you not find that odd? When are you going to tag yourself in? When are you going to take that step to get into that routine of growth? Because I know some of y'all, it's okay. I know y'all not, y'all like, he talking about me. You know that until you decide to do that, that beautiful smile cannot come. What about that? And it's robbing you of your youth because you are embracing the negative energy instead of expelling it out. No, there's no such thing as a overnight pill. Who am I talking to? You think that the remedy is going to be them pills you taking? Oh, it makes me feel a certain way. That's temporary. Maybe what's really required is that you change up the way of what you consume or what you expose yourself to. Maybe the people that have access to you. Because you do understand that a person that loves you, time stops. You do understand it, right? Because that's blessed. That's genuine. And they want the best for you, even if that means they have to get out of your way. Who am I talking to? You took note that everybody else is benefiting. They're growing, they're maturing, and you're wondering, what are you not doing? Why isn't your moment come? Your moment hasn't come because you refuse to love yourself. You can't find peace of mind in a rack, in a store. You can't you can't switch it up and think, well, I'll just do this today and this is for today. Expect the outcome to be different. Nah. The only thing that's going to come out of that is more frustration because you're choosing your pride and ego. And your pride and ego is what makes the foundation of your denial. I'm trying to convey to you that you deserve better. You know, I'm talking to you because you're feeling it in your spirit right now. You feeling it. That's why your heart flooding right now. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to your spirit. That's why, because you know what I'm saying. Maybe this is the moment that you'll finally listen. And I'm not talking about what is being conveyed from my mouth. Maybe the voice that's within you the whole time. That little boy. Because the months go and the years pass and you age, because that's for this. Spirit evolves. And you know what you need. You know what is right. So what's keeping you in place? What's keeping you from turning within? Because turning within does not make you weak. That taps into your greatness. That taps into what is authentic. The real question is, why won't you? Why won't you? Hmm? Why are you listening to them? Because they're inspired off of what is being conveyed by somebody else. But guess what? They don't have a relationship with God. So if they don't have a relationship with God, do you really think they're going to honor the relationship that you have with yourself? Hmm? You got to make a choice, King. Queen, it's okay. I know it might be hard right now because you may be saying, I don't want to say goodbye. They're all I know. So if they're all you know, how do you know what you need? If anything, go off of what has been shown. Your relationship should not be bittersweet. They should be blessed. Who am I talking to? And you've seen this play out over and over and over again. Think about it. Remember that last setback you went through? You thought life as you knew it was over. You thought there was no way out of that. Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody now. You thought that ain't no way, but God saw mercy and made a way when there is no way. Why? Because you're his child. Now, granted, there is power in the tongue. Words have power. Don't get it twisted. That's the foundation of manifestation. And even those who don't believe know that. That's why that age-old uh, metaphor of be careful what you ask for lasts through eternity. And it is because it's true. Only thing different is the allegory or the interpretation of the message. But is it received? I'm just saying. If anything, think about that little boy or that little girl that lives inside you. Do you think that what you've gone through, that little boy and that little girl rightfully deserves to go through that? Hmm? Come on now, don't. Why are you looking at them for validation when you need to look inside yourself? It may manifest in financial struggle. It may be manifested in for you to assess the relationships you have. And let's be clear, all your relationships start within you. So if you don't love you, you can't expect your environment to love you. Mm-mm. We are what we attract, family. Why do you overlook that? Why do you think I keep trying to tell you, Queen, stop looking for your man? Who am I talking to? How many times do you got to have somebody lay up on you, lay off of you, lie to you, and leave you in a situation that you got to figure out till you finally give yourself permission to be still? Your happy ever after is going to come when you decide to take on the responsibility for you to love you. I know, I know, I know. You're saying to yourself, well, Gerald, I have a type. I don't tell nobody, but they eventually see it because I'm always attracting the same caliber mate. But what you fail to realize is if they don't have a relationship with God, they don't have a relationship with themselves. And if they don't have a relationship with themselves, they don't have a direction. So how can you expect for them to have a relationship with you? That means they're not equipped. But that devil will give you everything you want, though. Oh, you want that man that knocks the lights off, makes you feel like you're flying, but also makes you feel like you're falling too, because that is only an aspect, because that ain't blessed. And it's just a matter of time. And I understand there's people that think that, well, if I just become more witty about how I navigate my relationships, I have control of what the outcome is. Let me tell you something. You don't have control over nothing but you. If that was the case, you would have control over your tears. Who am I talking to? Why you got to get in your car, drive far away because you're more insecure of how you perceive because you're wounded. You do understand until you acknowledge that you got a broken heart, it can't be healed. Hmm? It doesn't matter how many lovers you got. The key word is love. There is no love. So there's no different than a person waiting at a bus stop. That is nothing but a transitional point through physical form. Come on, King. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? You put yourself out there instead of preparing yourself. And you're wondering why the same example plays out, but the face is different. Because you refuse to look inside yourself. You still haven't forgiven yourself and have taken on a mindset of, well, if you can't beat them, join them. I'd rather for you to fear me than love me. I'll get you before you get me. But guess what? Who's gonna take the most of the pain? You are. You think the devil don't know that? But if you're living your life like it's a reality show, just know this. That's temporary. Your life is forever. And the sooner you decide to put the work in, the sooner your life can begin. Some of y'all are in a holding pattern right now. And it's tearing you up from the inside out because you know what you need, but you are afraid to try. So guess what? That opportunist sees that. And they take your weaknesses or vulnerabilities and turn it on its side and use it against you. Why? Because you refuse to say no. You think the devil don't know that? The devil loves to play with your mind. They even convince you, well, you know what? Since it didn't work with them, I'm gonna go get with them. Thinking you're gonna find happy. No, you're not. That's not gonna happen. Actually, you're gonna induce more pain. The pain can stop when you decide to stop running. Be the champion of your life. If not for yourself, for those who are going to come behind you. Because one day, God forbid, you're going to take your last breath. And the only thing will be left will be your story. Don't get caught up on materialism, because materialism means nothing. Ask those people that had to deal with the hurricanes. You got subdivisions and from subdivisions that all their assets are sitting on the front of their homes. And some people will be able to rebuild, but a lot of them won't. A lot of them are not. And a choice will have to be made. And that's why when you hear that scripture, those who are last will remain first, and those who are first will remain last, it is a reality check spiritually for you to put your priorities in perspective. Your life is priceless. That is first. So why are you tripping because you don't have that? Maybe you don't have that because God is making room for what you need, which is better. But you can keep listening to your stick man. And what you don't realize is his distraction is robbing you of your essence, your lifeline. It is also distracting you from what matters most. Maybe this is the moment that you're going to finally go back to school if that's what you choose to do. Or this is the moment that you said, well, you know what? It's time for me to relocate somewhere else, start fresh, start new. Whatever you decide to do, just make sure that God's in front of it. Because the moment that you decide to do that, guess what's going to happen? All the things that you did not know, all the things that was hidden, all the things that were set up to be your setback will be blocked. So the phone calls are going to stop. The access is going to be tight. And the frustration is going to come because you're going to think that it's you and it's not you. It's your spirit. But don't be afraid of that. Don't. Now let me shift gears. Because a lot of people don't realize is a lot of people are losing their innocence because of the social climate. At the end of the day, family, you are accountable for the things you say and do. That you're seeing a lot of people embrace bad behavior, especially if you're on the highways. People like hitting you with the high beams and trolling you behind. You know, there's a lot of accidents going on left and right. But that's okay though, because you reap what you sow. So that's why you hear people say, hey, laugh now, cry later. But what if you don't have a later? Because unfortunately, there are going to be people that are going to leave and start their day not to see it come to completion. So don't live your life in regret. Invest in it. Invest in what you need to do. Your harvest will come in the intended time, but you got to warn it. You got to warn it. Now, I know for some that's going to go in one ear and come out the other, and I'm going to still pray for you, but just look at it from a logical standpoint. If you see all these distractions that try to overshadow the things you need to do, stay the course on the things you need to do, because those are nothing but emotional triggers for you to respond in a way that is not you. And I understand that those people that deep down inside won't admit it to themselves, but you're terrified that you're going to live your days by yourself. That's a choice, right? But just know this: not everybody is going to either earn the right to know your story, nor earn the right to know your dreams. How about earn the right to walk with you? Because you're not there to walk behind anybody. You walk in tandem together, following the will of God. Because if God ain't in front of it, it's not blessed. But what is more relative in it all, not everybody is going to earn the right to hear you breathe. You have to come to terms with that, family. Because you're going to come to, as you mature, you're going to start to see people in different contexts. And it is going to be revealed on you being able to see those who have their best interests, as well as you see those who are only a distraction the whole time. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. If the phone calls in, so what? That means there's just more time for you. Because don't worry, that is nothing but a ploy. You'll see him again. You will see him again. But the validation comes after the work is done. Because if the work is not done, in that moment, in the intended time and moment occurs, you will have given justification for everything you've gone through was in vain if you don't see the difference. That's how opportunities do, family. All they do is see the clarity of, I can't run that no more, and they find another distraction. But do not think for 1 second that you're forgotten. Oh, no, no. In the intended time and moment, God always gives opportunity for the circle to be completed. All things come full circle. And the things that were done that were not accountable will be learned. So don't think because they got away with it. Oh no. Someone's going to teach them until the lesson is embraced. So you stay prayed up. You stay grounded. You place God first in everything you do. Because it is true, a house that prays together stays together. But if you don't love yourself more, you can't see how great you really are. And that's the disservice. So as you start your week, family, I hope that you're safe, stay prayed up, around your feet, and watch what God shows you. Because we are, if this is not an example of the metaphor of the ant and the scarecrow. See, right now, I'm the ant and the grasshopper. Because right now, the grasshoppers think they winning. They playing around. But guess what? God get tired. You think just because these hurricanes came, that was just a fluke thing? God's getting tired. But those who are blessed, they carry the toil, they do the work, and they will be set aside. The choice is, will it be you? God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. If you know somebody that's going through something, why don't you send them this video? Just make sure they loving themselves just as much as you are. Be blessed.